Okay, now we're going to try some more examples that have to do with the product of powers property. And we just did the scavenger hunt part number 2, and we did 1 through 6 in the previous video. Before I move on to number 7, I just realized there's an example that didn't show up in our notes or the scavenger hunt that I want you to be aware of. And so I wrote down 2 different examples here. And one thing I wanted to show you, the rules of math still apply, not just the exponent rules during this unit. So you still have to follow the math rules for, let's say, multiplication. For example, this 3, the 4, and the 2. Now, technically, this 3 doesn't really belong to the x squared. They're just kind of standing right by each other. I could separate all of these out, and I could make this, let me grab a different color pen. Sorry about that. I could make this 3 times x squared times 4 times x to the 5th times 2 times y to the 4th. So technically all of those coefficients in front of the exponent, because there's no parentheses there, they don't really belong together. They're just kind of standing next to each other in line. So this 3 doesn't just belong to anything with an x. Likewise, this 4 isn't with just an x, and this 2 isn't just with the y. So technically, when you see products like this, you need to multiply all of the coefficients together. So we have to do 3 times 4 times 2. Even though that 2 is next to the y, we still have to put it with the 3 and the 4, even though they're next to x's, because really they're not together. So for this problem, we would do 3 times 4, which is 12, 12 times 2. So you have 24 x to the 7th, because remember, when you multiply exponents, you add the exponents. When you multiply to product of powers, you add the exponent. And then don't forget the y to the 4th. So technically, this original problem, the final answer is 24 x to the 7th, y to the 4th. Some students want to do this as 12 x to the 7th, 2y to the 4th, but that's wrong, because you do need to put the 12 and 2 together. They need to go together because they're not really with the x or the y. Okay, so I wanted to bring that to your attention. Likewise here for this next example, so example 1, example 2, these are not in your notes or scavenger hunt, but it's very important that you see these examples. Again, we need to put the coefficients, all of them together. So this would be like 7 times 1 times 5, so just 7 times 5. So we'd have 35, a to the 5th, b to the 4th. Remember, even though this b doesn't have an exponent, it's really a 1. So we have to do 3 plus 1. So that would be the final answer for the second example I want to show you. Okay, let's go to back to our scavenger hunt, and let's look at number 7. Now, I know I just took up a couple minutes of your video, about 3 minutes, showing those 2 examples, but they are very important. I'm just going to do 7 and 8, and then you can finish the scavenger hunt, and it's kind of a self-check paper anyway. Now, be careful. Number 7, we need to put all the coefficients together. So we need to do 2 times 3 times 5. So that's 6 times 5. So we're going to have 30, and then let's put all of our a's together. So a to the 4th, this is really a to the 1st, so that's 4, 5, and a negative 3, so 5 plus negative 3 is 2. 5, or 30a squared. Now all the b's, remember that's b to the 1st also, so 5 plus 1 is 6, plus 3 is 9, so 30b squared, a squared b to the 9th. And then let's put all our c's together. Remember, this is c to the 1st. 1 plus 3 is 4. So c to the 4th. That is going to take us all the way back to the bottom. I'll do one more with you. Number 8, and then you can finish, and I want you to finish 9 through 12 on your own. So down here, number 8, here is our answer that we just found from number 7. And luckily no coefficients for this problem, just put all the a's together. -5 plus 3, that's -2, plus 1 is -3, plus 8 is 8 to the 5th. And then that's going to take you back up to number 7 right here. That's 8 to the 5th. So now you're going to start here with number 9. I want you to do 10, 11, and 12, and that should get you to the end of the scavenger hunt.